Welcome to the greatest show of all time!
Frustrated to the point that it's almost like, what can we do out here to force anybody's hand? Not a whole lot. We can put people up and down this road. It's not going to do a whole lot.
It's hard out here for a pimp.
I think where our strategy would be better utilized is in front of that police department and bringing the worldwide spotlight on the lack thereof of the Chatham Police Department.
Whoa, wait a minute.
She was there. Apparently she confessed for something and they let her go or something. I don't know what she's out.
She confessed to killing that thing?
That's what the mother. That's what the grandmother.
The grandmother is the one that made public confession that her daughter did it based on landfill.
Yep.
Now, what Leilani has said is unsure.
You gotta remember, when we came, they didn't know this baby was in the landfill. Alright, we got out here, stuff broke off day number one, me arguing with the neighbor because he came out here being crazy. Betty with grandma's friend, and then that night, boom, we get a confession on day one, right? So, I don't know if the pressure had anything to do with that, but I hope the thing it does,
I figured I'll let you tell them.
So, these are things that just from being out here, like boots on the ground, this is the kind of information that we get, and this is just sitting here. We've been out here tag teaming this house. We've been out here both working our rear ends off.
For all those haters out there that don't want to get off their butt and do the kind of work we do, I can't say anything about Bullhorn Betty this time. I didn't even break out the bullhorn. As a matter of fact, people are yelling at me for not bringing out the bullhorn.
What you? Oh, yeah, Bullhorn Betty's just Betty now.
Attention. Back away from the camera, woman. Back away from the camera.
I do need it, but I don't think this is where I need it. I think I need it at that police department.
No.
And if I'm going to go Bullhorn Betty, I'm going to need friends to help support the Bullhorn Betty. But I think the people here in Savannah, Georgia, and Chatham County should be irate with their law enforcement counterparts here in this county. You've got a killer on the loose here in your county, courtesy of your own police department. So if you don't like hearing that, please, by all means, pick up the phone, go to your email, and let Chatham County Police Department know how you feel about having a murderer on the loose. It is time to pull out all the stops. How many of you want to see justice for baby Q? We all have our part in this. Your part is to start blowing up those phone lines. I can only do so much. I'm one person. Dolly's only one person. Karen's only one person. We got 3 people out here, right? It would behoove you to pick up that phone and let that police department know how you feel with a killer on the loose. And you have a woman that allowed it to happen out here wondering, and I'm speaking about Billy Joe Powell, because this is totally unacceptable.
What is this thing with law enforcement having to put all these charges in one big bow?
I don't get it. I don't think the motorcycle stuff has anything to do with it because they're not really that hard. I think they're Billy badasses. They're Georgia bikers. They ain't my kind of bikers. My kind of bikers would send them home to mama crying. Sorry, I know some badder people. Just saying. I almost want to see what I almost want to get arrested here. I really do. Not that I should. But I almost want to go out and do something. Some really petty stuff. Get arrested to say, so I can get arrested for this, but a baby murderer can't. Like, I'm almost to that where I want to be that passive aggressive so I can prove to the world that Bullhorn Betty can jaywalk and go to jail, but this chick that's a mom that killed her baby is still running free on these streets. Like, I may end up doing that. There would be an arrest, exactly. Not the arrest that we were all hoping for, but it sure would prove a point. Maybe I'll run a stop sign today. Maybe I'll run a stop sign in front of an officer. See if I can get a ticket. Did something like, a protest at the police department.
That's what you guys want to do. We have 1,900 people here. If I can get people out there to the Chatham Police Department, then yeah. we'll blow it up.
To make sure we're not literally meaning blowing something up.
Law enforcement's dragging their ass and, wanting to be, respectable to a woman that killed her child. A lot of people were a little upset that I'm not using the bullhorn and haven't used the bullhorn. There's a reason for that. One of the reasons for that is because I strategized with my channel, the people that sponsored me to be here, and this is what they asked of me to do. And since they are the ones that sent me out here, I'm going to be doing what they asked me to do.
They're watching. All the news media out here is watching me.
Well, even Nancy Grace, right?
What happened is they didn't think that the YouTubers were properly credentialed, and they shit a brick when they realized that we were properly credentialed. And so what they ended up doing is blocking me and Channel 28 out because they couldn't open the door for Channel 28 without letting me in.
The difference between mainstream media and alternative media is that we're not filtered.
That's why law enforcement doesn't like us. They can talk to mainstream media and know that what they say to them will stay under wraps and things like that.
We follow the law and the Constitution, and we get the information that we are entitled to get, and we give that to our audience.
At the end of the day, I want the information that I am entitled to under the law, and I will get it, and I will distribute it as I see fit.
You should have seen the lady's face because she's like, oh, this is for credentialed media. I said, I am credentialed. That's what they don't understand, is that this is a business. I consider it a business, and I make sure I have all my paperwork and all my ducks in a row so I can conduct this like a business, right?
I have to talk to people. I have to be properly credentialed, and that's what I do. Now, that's a problem for a lot of these law enforcement, because they can't even say I'm not accredited. Because I've sold articles to TMZ, I've sold articles to a bunch of other organizations. So it's like, and I'm getting paid from Google AdSense for my channel. So the idea that I don't have the same rights as everybody else, they don't know Bullhorn Betty too well. Because as soon as I get back to Florida, believe me, what happened here in Chatham County will be addressed properly, and it will be addressed lawfully. And this will not happen to anybody else in this county again. I can guarantee that.
This is why I do the things that I do. But the idea that I'm not credentialed, that I don't get paid for the work that I do, is incorrect. So what they actually did is they violated my rights, and they violated Fox 28's rights.
And when I say Bullhorn Betty follows the law, that's what I mean. We follow the law, and we had every right to be in that meeting. Grandma needs to be in jail. Grandma needs to be in jail. And, that's what I'm going to advocate for. Cher can advocate for her saying that she's doing the right thing. No. I'm here. I'm boots on the ground. Wish Cher would have picked up the phone and, hey, babe, I'd have told her about some things. But whatever,
We got law enforcement here, folks.
The road president saying that you guys were in the roadway when they asked you guys to came to the store a little bit. I got you. Well, all I got to say is just remember to stay on the roadway again. Especially if the cars come down like this one. Don't put the tag on.
Where is it?
Again, like I said, I'm only here because I was called out here. But again, I just came out here to make sure everything was good.
So we've been on here for about 3 hours. You guys have watched literally everything. But our little trolls have called into the Chatham Police because our Chatham Police Department doesn't have better things to do with their time. We have people that want to utilize resources for law enforcement, stating that we were in the middle of the road, that we've been cussing people out, right? This is what they do. The officer was nice because we're Bullhorn Betty and we follow the law. So you guys can keep calling him, we'll keep streaming, and you're going to have to live with it. Sorry, they're watching the stream, but if they get a call, they come out. So you guys want to keep calling them. I mean, next time I'll just make sure they bring coffee with them. Because Bullhorn Betty could use some coffee, So if you guys are, and Dolly's hungry. So if you're gonna call the police out here, at least pay them for their time, one, and two, make sure there's enough money there for Bullhorn Betty to eat and have coffee. Just saying. Who knows? I was saying some things about protesting the sheriff. Maybe they just wanted to say, hey, hey to Bullhorn Betty, but they don't realize I'm not intimidated.
So yeah, they'll send the police out here to get you out the road, but if you kill somebody, not so much.
You're actually causing injury. We're not causing injury. We're not doing anything to anyone.
Let's sing a song. It's called Apples and Bananas. I like to eat apples and bananas. I like to eat apples and bananas.
You think she went through the trouble of fucking killing her baby. She went through the trouble of driving that bitch down the street. She went through the trouble of throwing that bitch in the dumpster. She went through the trouble of waiting the thing out to make sure the baby was disposed of. She went through the trouble to drive back home. She's been out there. She's drove past the media. She's drove past me. I think she would go through the fucking